We can teach the story of Kotoka and the NLC in our schools. We can debate that past in our books and our documentaries. We can preserve his memory in our museums. But the name at the doorpost of our republic must be that which unites us, that which uplifts us, and that which we are proud.
Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. Among Moresu also through a full support behind the renaming of Kotoka International Airport to Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah International Airport. May endorse. In fact, may the National Cathedral Cement Bagba go 10 amount for man and another than go for no. May the support this a project way. What was us is going to be a support project way. Asemno ayre amanfo ekasa nani na ye Kotoka International Airport. Yes papa onu obeye ku etu yes Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah Ghana na ewura adenti na onu na ne din the entrance of the door of Ghana onu na ne din eda no ne se they be courtesy the open courtesy penance one na wo hu o o courtesy efe de o da mi wura mu e de o da so be efe na Kotoka din ye de to Ghana ye airport so many ye question sha say ba nya ne the like of Captain Smart mo say Ghana na look like say ye case because obi oye ku na ebesi na ubusa Ghana ni bia ubusa na busu afọ kra say Kotoka oye de na ma Ghana omutimi nka one single thing oye ma Ghana na obi oye ku amfa so bia ma no so na osetu nipa ene omo ana omo support say Nkrumah ye dictator, Nkrumah ye authoritarian. Onka mo obi nka bi ni na chi na obi aso wafe no. Obi ase ye na saa nipa we ye de ne to international airport so man ye. Ne ba Samia Nkrumah na di kana anu ya be kasa ase eye ne ya wona kuma mu pa. Se ne papa Kwame Nkrumah Osagyefo ebesi ne Kotoka na onu tu no e ma ne ko dane Guinea for president by force. Ni din ye dia to ye international airport so enti obi full flight no ba be si Ghana se me Kotoka International Airport then is sa papa na nka se oye hwan obo bra ben die na oye after so tu Kwame Nkrumah enti Samia Nkrumah ka se wie yes we de ne papa nti anya hwinsi nanu yayi ana abrante ba ko se o asem ka na nas wo kan na ne se eba azima ana yese yankofo obi di mfantu ye airport so yese enkro Kotoka ana se how osi mu betima pe Kotoka di India ko say ye history book na nkola no from primary 1 to primary 6 say JHS 1 to JHS 3 say senior high school SHS 1 to SHS 3 omo de besua momo munsua na so omo besua so abakwasem no mo twa obi anim say de mo beka enye papa because ni na ebone nko na pass the entrance the door of Ghana amanfo di ewuremu na yesi yekope bebia akotena akododo ye ho ayesi your VIP lounge of Kotoka International Airport. I say what the hell, what do we mean say Kotoka na ono ebesi ne yentimi nka any significant achievement papa na yama o man Ghana no ono na yedi ni din atoso no say se kunu na ye de na efe pa dia ene nka yensan yengo se Kotoka International Airport no ne Jerry John Rawlings International Airport because Jerry John Rawlings anya oye ku wie no oboama aduane na amanfo tese omonye sika na omo hode say tese amanfo sha asie yi na yeti fu obo so yeti petrol obo so yeti friends diesel obo so ye wie dollar no say ye bu no bam see the na appreciate say bam na so boa obekọ market de tia na tie dada na price na ne to no eno no sa na Jerry Rose beto years asa mo sikafo na tese hiafo na mo extort omo no ala wallahi nya ha eni o che manfo twom ha mu se wow aba no kakra kan wa mo ko no wurawura mu obeka obedwene ho yie enema na o nebo fa ba wan go fa ma sojafo ebe fa na ne je momra mometo no fa la mo fa ngo na yana ya mbeto sa time no yie no ya appreciate enani ehun se say na we na kwa ma jeje bu amafo nti se sa dia ku ni na efe na de nkwa de ma jeje emra na ne di ma Kotoka International Airport no embe take over na jeje Rollins International Airport ba anya sa pa dia Kotoka no de din abu amanfo mu biro mu moje ni serve Ghana edoso ye fo mu din to so anya sa dia enya simple and short and tietia ye no Accra International Airport ni ehun se eni Accra di ni ye ton amanfo ate no matobi na se edi Kotoka no ote ana na bofo no.
We can teach the story of Kotoka and the NLC in our schools. We can debate that past in our books and our documentaries. We can preserve his memory in our museums. But the name at the doorpost of our republic must be that which unites us, that which uplifts us, and that which we are proud, to present to the world. And so I cannot and we cannot be proud of the name Kotoka International Airport when he's not associated with any major developmental project in our country. We cannot be proud of the name Kotoka when the last act of President Rawlings in 2000 was to demount his statue from the forecourt of the airport. And that act has never been reinstated by successive administrations. We cannot be proud of the name Kotoka when his coup d'etat created an abyss of political instability for the next 30 years in Ghana's history, allowing countries like South Korea to leapfrog us. We cannot be proud of the name Kotoka when every single airport in this world is either named after the city in which they are located or after an iconic or revolutionary figure. And so we have Jomo Kenyatta Airport, the founding father and the first president of the Republic of Kenya. We have Julius Nyerere Airport, the founding father and the first president of Tanzania. We have Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, the founding father and the first president of Nigeria. And just next door, Houphouët-Boigny Airport, the founding father and the first president of La Côte d'Ivoire. Where is Dr. Nkrumah, the African of the millennium? A man whose name and whose statue boldly sits at the forecourt of the AU, but in his own country, sits in the shadows of the bushes in our museums. This can't continue. And so today we rally a call to the conscience of our nation. And to Parliament, we say, heed our call. In the coming days, we shall present a petition to the leadership of the Honorable Speaker, the Majority Leader, the Minority Leader, the Chairperson of the Transport Committee, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, and the Minister for Transport. To the Judiciary, I say, heed the constitutional call of the Democracy Hub and answer with clear constitutional clarity on this matter. To our religious leaders and chiefs, this is not just a name-calling exercise or a name change exercise. This contributes to the spiritual awakening of our country. And I must commend again the efforts of the leadership of the Democracy Hub. I must commend the efforts of Kwesi Pratt Jr. I must commend the efforts of Kweku Sinti Misa, who over the past years have brought this issue to national focus. I'm just a lone voice, adding to the strength of theirs. And I believe that to the President of the Republic, you did say in your New Year message that our youth must lead today and not tomorrow. Our actions today is evidence of our call to serve today and not tomorrow. Not as spectators, but as citizens of the Ghana that we want, the Ghana that you, Mr. President, want, and the Ghana that Dr. Nkrumah had envisioned.
Now, Abrante, the way to ne boss can answer me no. As a Ghana for yantie, John Dramani Mama Munyantie. Now, why Anna and Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. Among former also through a full support behind the renaming of Kotoka International Airport to Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah International Airport. Sadi we me so me endorse. In fact, me the National Cathedral cement bag go 10 a man farmer na do dan go fo ado no. Me the support this project way. What was as sikani bia for support project way. Say Nkrumah di na da sa ye international airport Susan Kadino seliwa nkemu ede He is the only notable name the whole world. Abekwa oboni dia obi aboni mu etuche mane say oh why you adwuma na kama because Nkrumah. That's the name. Obi are respecting Africa ha. It is said in that's why and kebebo epanti na omo the letter apie so omo say press release media for na monye na mon kan magana fo bi ante say yabre kotoka no yetia na yebufu enti Nkrumah din emeda so. Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park supports call to rename Kotoka International Airport after Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. The management of the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, the KNMP, has taken note of and fully supports the recent call by a coalition of concerned citizens for the renaming of Kotoka International Airport in honor of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's founder and Africa's foremost Pan-Africanist. As a Ghana principal international gateway, the national airport ought to reflect the highest ideals, values, and historical foundations of the Republic. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's unparalleled contribution to Ghana's independence, statehood, and Pan-African unity makes him the most fitting symbol to welcome the world to our beloved country, which I indeed support. Say Kwame Nkrumah, the ideals, the values, and the historical foundation that ojade to oman Ghana, oman kronkron Ghana no. Say Africa ni na obi na overthrow no the first Pan-Africanist. Obi o say Africa, yen sorry ma Africa no. Eyo no a brofo tire ya odi tire book. The neo-colonialism and imperialism. And then papa no ohun the vision of the future. And then one say na oye secretary. Edema Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Papa no I say I have a dream that one day a black man will lead this country called United States of America. Kwame Nkrumah had also a dream that one day the white that we think they are gone and we see them no more shall return, but not to colonize us or slave us into the same method, but they will use loans, IMF, World Bank, grants, a friend is saying loans, any home kwanyaba na di cheye, ni yeje, ni igusu ye so. Eti ano anana igusu ego so yi. Renaming the national airport is not a symbolic gesture, it is a moral reckoning. National honors must reflect truth, justice, and our collective identity. Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah founded Ghana and laid the foundations necessary for its statehood. Yet Ghana's only international airport continues to honor a figure associated with its overthrow. This contradiction sends a dangerous signal and normalizes betrayal, subversions, and moral bankruptcy. This must no longer be allowed to stand. The Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park therefore retraces its support for the cause to rename the so-called Kotoka. Also to rename the so-called Kotoka International Airport after Ghana's founder and the African man of the millennium, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, signed Dr. Rollins Nuyemana and the AG Executive Director, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, Accra, Ghana. No more number 2 say media men's ni nano. Yan kama Ghana fonte. Na enye nunkwa o na wei emu ya yeden. John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency John Ababio John is the hope. Mahama gives the hope of better Ghana. John, the reincarnated Kwame Nkrumah. Papa no say waba no na waba. We dey ni kanen na ha space no da ha. Papa no asma the foreign affairs minister say mosi me reincarnated da. Ampanyampa madia tum masom abodi no esefatame so dey na esefatame wako no. Nti akona okwa no. Eno ana say o ga kire Guinea. For say emre bi atwam a Kotoka eboa pam papa ye frɛ no Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah ye ni ku no wie no okoye ekopie mu Guinea ekoye co-president na hwɛ ne fɛ na fie na omode man na otim no John Dramani Mahama was the foreign affairs minister Samuel Okujato Ablakwa say papa yi ko na gogo kire oman konkron Guinea say masomawo na de America tro mu ni na ne say Dr. Kwame Nkrumah Osagyefo siena na otim no ye pese nkomodem emaye na omode maya ye besiesie mu na ho yama na ye fe abe kra behwe se de bia emre bia Ghana ni bia no ebe na adwen se waduru Guinea na obeso ohu de ekọ ana de eba no obedi atum se yes ye papa Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the founder of Ghana de na poka se mo Kwame Nkrumah ye Kwame Nkrumah no ye pe ye so ya de mu sa ye be so mu sa na de brofo a foreign affairs minister say John Dramani Mahama Suma no on kan kire Guinea for any after being extorted on the instructions of President John Mahama, we have initiated negotiation with the Sekou Toure family of Guinea to allow Ghana take possession of the house Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah lived and worked as a co-president of Guinea in his last years. The Mahama administration intends to renovate and preserve Nkrumah Guinea residence, and not only as an act of respect, but also to preserve the Osagyefo legacy and create a full experience for the tourists to follow Nkrumah's outstanding life from Ghana to Guinea. The Jinjin. This landmark decision was conveyed to the Sekou Toure family on Saturday when Vice President His Excellency Prof. J. Nana Opoku Agyeman led us to visit the Sekou Toure family and also tour Nkrumah's abandoned home. After the investiture of President Mamadi Doumbouya, Ghana's delegation was well received by the three generations of the Sekou Toure family led by his eldest son. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is negotiating in the terms and conditions and engaging preservation experts for this important assignment. In the spirit of transparency and accountability, the Ghanaian public shall be fully apprised at every stage. Nkrumah never dies. Yes, the Foreign Affairs Minister, the man who told the United States of America Senator, said this is Nkrumah Ghana. So you cannot tell her to shut up. You cannot tell her how to rule our country. And Tibapano said the reincarnated Dr. Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah, John Dramani Mahama, Esma no ma ono, and the Vice President, Yen Ninaye Mame, Her Excellency, Jenano Opoku Agyeman, Monko Piemu, Ewo Guinea, Ema Mone Sekou Toure, Papa na one Nkrumah Eshe Yema, Omuye co-president. Look at the respect. Omuya man, na mi buse na Nkrumah fie na Ewo Ghana no. Say, the last time I saw, and so a deplorable state too. And so then, I know so and they were wanting to outside gentility home cry, and Mumasa, move ya, muyeni na. And again, Tan National Cathedral Hormono. Monko, Nanka Munko develop ho na monfanye a nice place. You bet me that I can't every single details and history about Nkrumah. In fact, the Nkrumah Memorial Park and be fitting for the name Kwame Nkrumah because the papa na no any day no sa Memorial Park no and same fatano. I say ye bibi broso. It is that National Cathedral the disgrace. 97 million patrons. Yes, no. Yes, something monumental, something that will attract more tourists. Our mobile men say yes, we have the history, we got the history, and we got the records and the data. Yay, and you have the first Pan-Africanist, the Millennium Man, the man that wanted Africa to come together as one. Then you spending one currency, free border. Na said the United States of America there, omuye ganganga ya omuka obi nkabiye. On population in our for 400 million. Yeah, he said, oh, hey, Africa in about 1.4 billion. Imagine, said the entire Africa in Nayakabum Nayabako and Kanefe. And Nkrumah send up as okay, Bomunti, Emma Muko for about Nukrada, Fatia Fatan Nkrumah, Fatia from Egypt. And Nkrumah Nat says, name person kwa. I don't know here translator we do on any year. On the Arab, English, English. I don't mean no worry. It is a Nkrumah became the area. There's a translator, the man here, Fatia became be a catch translator. No catch a Kwame Nkrumah. This is impossible. And what you say, I say, Bobo, a universal language. The overcome ye ever call. Aha, eti Kwame Nkrumah, and yes, I say your bonnet bodin pa. Eti ye Jennifer, I walk Guinea. Na yes, you must say a month for a free Ghana. Any outside Ghana, ebe kwa rebie. No man say Nkrumah in last days, you know, high and spending no. The same time now, the Nkrumah Memorial Park and coalition of concerned youth for said no. Kotoka edi yabro, obo yabro. Ono ene pam Kwame Nkrumah free Ghana. Ono ne ye ku. Kwame Nkrumah ko ya obeba no ne say eh chama menko na ye ku yetia o. Kotoka na ye enti ene sa di Kotoka no ye say ye yifiri so na me fo aso nye nne. Me support sa agenda we nye nne. A man who did a coup against the most loved man in Ghana, in Africa. In fact, the only name that come closer to Kwame Nkrumah when it comes to Africa, the like of Nelson Mandela, Muhammad Gaddafi, and Ukraine after New World, and a man who said he wasn't as bad as the Americans and the people of France were portraying. Say Otieno, a friend say Lumumba. These are the names almost the history and then the identity of Africa, but Nkrumah stand tall among all. And the way the entrance of Ghana, international airport, on the D, they are plaster to say papa, that's so. I'm going to Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah International Airport. When there, Adenya Kotoka International Airport. Mi buseo, die na Kotoka ba Ghana obeye. Oye ku ni wie no, tire me ade ba ko. Relevant one significant thing. Sa papa no oyemaye. Ebi ni ho lie. Why a naked truth our Oldboga trends. Edi no ba ko pe Maxi Billian. For comments no to comment section na say Nkrumah yefo ni di ento the international airport no so ana yenyai Kotoka International Airport di no ento so sa media mempene so na wo so we are subscribe like na share mo nua so enya bi ehwe makraw bye bye.